Let's turn our attention to Zimbabwe. All right, the country is preparing for a significant event in August, this month of August, next week, the 23rd, the general elections, and the political landscape of Zimbabwe is poised as the major parties gear up in this nation history election. Why I call it a historic election, it's 40 years after 1980, and those who voted in 1980, prior to some of us being born, are now in their twilight of their years. Those who were 30 are now 70s. Those who were in their 20s are now in their 60s. So for the younger generation who are there in their 20s and 30s, this is a type of 1980 election to set the country on a different path, new ideas, fresh agenda, and new opportunity. What we'll never do, we'll never trivialize what the ruling party has done, giving us our freedom through the liberation struggle. That can never be trivialized, and that will be forever appreciated for many years and many generations to come. Whether we have new leadership or we have the same existing leadership, that will always be appreciated. But however, the country after 43 years may be, and the question is, as one of our listeners said, is it time for Zimbabwe to have a third republic? Tina's Joe, the floor is open to you.
I think it could be time, but I don't think they're well prepared. Look, man, talking about everything that has happened in Zimbabwe, it's just been a sad journey where we won't even get into what Mugabe had in store for us, but want to look at 2017 going forward. A lot of hope, a lot of maybe not realization, but maybe a lot of thinking, for lack of a better term, that things are going to change to the better. For me, when Mnangagwa came into power, there's, I think, a lot of it, because he's been somebody who's been in politics since the beginning of Zimbabwean politics, since the beginning. For me, it was a matter of legacy more than anything. So whatever he was going to do should reflect what he has gone through in the past and what he wants to leave behind when he leaves. So I thought, because of his history, what he would want to leave behind is a better Zimbabwe for everybody. But the last few years have just proven that, you know what? People don't change that much. Who he was in ZANU-PF before and who he is now is pretty much the same. They are doing a lot of changes in the country, but those changes, we can't really call them advancements. Those are just things that are helping the country, stand on its feet.
Can I just step in on that point? Those are basic essentials. We can't clap our hands because ambulances have been delivered at the hospital.
Well, I won't even talk about that. I'm just talking about the roads.
We can't clap our hands because we now have a modernized international wing. All the cities in Zimbabwe, 43 years later, should have had an international quality airport.
Regional airport. Exactly. Exactly. And even those helicopters, since they came in, I've never heard one person who has been ferried by those helicopters from Berengwa to Harare Hospital, because anyway, Harare Hospital is not working, it's not functioning properly. Yeah. So, yeah,
so look, as I said, the incumbent leadership of His Excellency President Mnangagwa, has done some things from 2017, some things have been done, some improvements. We talk about the international airport. That's an improvement. Some of the roads have been improved. However, this is the remnants of the First Republic and the New Republic. And as some of our listeners have sent their messages and their emails before the recording of this episode, asking the question, they believe and they want a third republic. Someone else given a new opportunity, new fresh ideas. If the opposition doesn't work out, 5 years later, they can be booted out. That's the system people want. The system which is out in the West, in your places, in your UKs, in your Europes, in your Americas. People can talk about one-party states, but the examples that they use of China, Russia, people have got the basic essentials which they need.
I think I think maybe, I don't know if Joe has something to say, but I just wanted to hop in and just say, coming from what I was saying, we have expected a lot from these guys. But that being said, what every Zimbabwean has gone through, I also don't feel like the opposition has been working towards a real solution of what to do.
No, the opposition don't want a solution now, because if there is a solution, like you remember when we were discussing last time, I said the opposition can actually make change even if they are not in power. But they don't want to make that change, because if they make changes, people will become comfortable and their message is distorted. Now they won't be able to say, look at ZANU-PF, things are tough. So they want things to be tough in Zimbabwe. They
don't want to work for the government.
Yes.
They don't want to do the government's work, basically.
You see what happened when they did the GNU? Things were becoming very good. People were now becoming comfortable. And when the GNU was dismantled, now the forces were pulling against, on opposite directions. And then things started to get tough again. If they come together and work together for the people, like what's his name, the CCC leader? Chamisa. His message is, if you are ZANU-PF, come. If you're MDC, come. If you are whatever party you are, come. Let's work together as a new Zimbabwe. That spirit has to continue even if ZANU wins, even if Uniting Zimbabwe wins, even if Ndonga wins. We need that spirit. So what we need in Zimbabwe is education for our people. Not education as in mathematics, English. Political education. People, they need to understand the political atmosphere, the political arena. So people, they don't fight over their leaders. Like I've been scrolling through the social media. You see one guy, a ZANU-PF guy, was being beaten. They were pounding on this ZANU-PF guy, and that's MDC mob pounding on him. And then I was scrolling on the media. I saw this article saying an MDC member was killed.
MDC or CCC?
CCC.
CCC. I don't know the difference. Help me, guys. These guys, they are confused. Yes. It's MDC, CCC, MDCT, MDC. What was the other one?
No. Because look, when we talk of the MDCs, look, anytime we talk of MDC, I think of just a party that was infiltrated by ZANU-PF, and they were left to be, breadcrumbs in a church somewhere.
Yeah. So I was saying that the CCC member was killed in Harare by in Glenora by the thugs. Who knows?
By apparent, as I said, we cannot specify or authenticate. It's alleged ruling party supporters, and the other attack was by the alleged opposition party members. So we cannot authenticate that until that is clarified by the courts. Oh yeah, go ahead, Joe, with your point.
Yeah, so unless we stop fighting each other and work together as a people, because these nincompoops, whoever they are from, what opposition, whatever party they are from, for time immemorial, we are not seeing any improvement. We are still suffering. And like I said, you don't need to be in power to bring change. So we are all to blame for the current situation.
Okay. And my point as we continue in the opposition and the leader of the opposition, there's a news article from the News Hawks, right? From Friday, the 11th of August, which says Triple C has no voters roll with 10 days to go for the elections, right? Mm-hmm. They don't even have a copy of the voters roll.
Yeah, because I think the voters roll is like being charged like 250K or something like that. For you to have it, you have to have, don't quote me on this, but I think I saw it somewhere on social media. Again, I can't verify this because I have no means of verifying this, but I think when I read something on Twitter, it was saying you have to pay for the voters roll, and I think it was like $250,000.
So are we saying that the opposition doesn't have $250,000 to get the voters roll?
They don't. Look at the fleet that Chamisa moves around in. There's no uniformity in that fleet. It shows me that those are cars coming from well-wishers. He has one Toyota vehicle pickup truck, he has a Prado, he has a this, he has a that. There's no uniformity in what he's doing. I'm not saying he has to have similar vehicles for him to move, but motorcade that he moves with is just a telltale sign that he's getting things from well-wishers. There's no...
So
at that level...
They don't get funded by the government?
They're supposed to be, but I don't know if they are.
Yeah,
because I think last I heard was, I think Monzora got some funds, but he got the funds because he was in quote unquote, the main opposition. So I'm not well versed, but again, there are a lot of facts here to be checked. But yeah, from what I heard last time, that's what was being said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, definitely. As I said, you look into it, it's opinion. We've got a listener mail. Fortunate enough that people contact us on our various platforms, sending these messages and asking the question. The question to all our listeners, is Zimbabwe due for a third republic? 43 years, what new ideas can come out of the same crew and team which has been there for 43 years? They might try and spin and say Second Republic, but 2/3 were from the First Republic, were in the Second Republic. And they've added a couple of people here and there, affiliates of theirs. What changes? What vision? Looking at the ruling party social media pages, there's no a vision, there's no manifesto, there's no this is what we're going to do for you for the next 5 years. It's all talking about His Excellency going to speak at ZCCC church rally. He's going to speak about this at some rally. It's nothing to build about the future of the country. That's why people are now saying that let's have a go with the Third Republic. If the Third Republic doesn't work, we'll find another option. You know, we use the words of His Excellency from 2017. The voice of the people is the voice of God. If the people vote for a Third Republic, is the ruling party going to say the voice of God has spoken?